Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias. We will discuss current affairs of 23rd March. First is related to the draft bill for new national public health law. Draft bill means before it is created by the executive. Executive means the ministry that will create the draft bill that will be presented in the parliament to be passed. So that is draft bill. Okay. New national law for public health. New national public health law. The Indian Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and other government departments are started the process of finalizing various provisions for the draft bill for new national public health law. So it is not only health and family welfare, other ministries as well. Right? It will be replaced by it will be placed in the common public domain for consultation before being sent to the Union Cabinet, right? Then public opinions will come, and if they want any reforms, they will bring some reforms and they will present it to the Cabinet. With the third COVID wave across the country, the National Public Health Bill is expected to be introduced in the monsoon session of Parliament, produce around 4,600 metric tons of. Okay, this is by mistakenly something. Okay, so this is going to be presented in the parliament in the monsoon session. National public health law that is finalized by various government departments and Ministry of Family Health and Welfare. Okay, what are the drafts? First is the proposed National Public Health Act has been in the works since 2017 and once enacted will replace the 125-year-old Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. Right? Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. Remember, this at present this is in functions. This will be repealed instead of Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. The new law will be new National Public Health Law is going to come after it is passed in the Parliament. Okay. Next, it will also cover public health emergencies caused by bioterrorism, natural disasters, chemical and nuclear attacks or accident. These are the new developments, because in the earlier act of 1897 such type of provisions were not there regarding bioterrorism, natural disasters, because at that time disasters were very less, and also this chemical weapons or nuclear weapon, because nuclear weapon developed around your Second World War, right? So new act will address all these challenges, because at present we know in your Russia and Ukraine conflict there is allegations that they are going to use chemical weapons. So this new act will be holistic to address this bioterrorism, chemical weapons, biological weapons, nuclear weapons, all these aspects, right? Next, 4-tier health administration architecture. The draft will proposes four-tier health administrations, 4-tier health administration architecture with multi-sectoral national, state, district, block level public health authorities. Right? Each national health authorities, state health authorities, district health authorities, and a block level public health authorities. So 4-tier health administration system. The National Public Health Authority is proposed to be headed by the Union Health Ministry and to be chaired by health ministries of states. Okay, Public Health Authority. There will be National Public Health Authority that will be chaired by Union Health Ministry and be chaired by health ministers of the states. Okay, district collectors will lead the next tier, and block units will be headed by block level medical officers or medical superintendents. So next will be district collectors and the block level medical officers. So this is 4-tier health infrastructure that is proposed in the national health law. Next, these authorities will have powers to make measures for the prevention of non-communicable diseases and also emerging infectious diseases, right? Non-communicable diseases, that means those diseases which cannot be communicated, that is, for example cardiac diseases, heart disease or your diabetes, these are non-communicable diseases, whereas infectious diseases like COVID-19, right, it can be infected. So all this, this national health law that will address, that will take measures to control all these both communicable and non-communicable diseases. So fourth tier health administration will be established according to national health law. Next, the proposed law also provides for the creation of public health cadres at national and state levels. Public health cadres at national and state levels. Public health cadre, right? A new type of cadre will develop that will for administration. The draft bill has defined various measures such as isolation, quarantine, lockdown, which have been extensively invoked by the center and states for the COVID management. That also define various measures, in which situation you have to impose this lockdown, in which situation you have to impose quarantine or shutdown. All these things will be mentioned in the draft bill, right? Next, it defines lockdown as a restrictions with certain conditions or complete prohibition of running or any form of transport. It is defined as a restriction with certain conditions or complete prohibition of running any form of transport system on roads or inland water. So in case of lockdown, there will be curb on transportation, right? The definition of a lockdown covers restrictions on the movement or gathering of persons in any place, whether public or private. There will be restrictions in private gathering or public gathering. It will also include prohibiting and restricting the working factories, plants, minings on constructions or offices, educational institutions or marketplaces. So that will also include prohibiting and restrictions the working of factories. How many people are working? Will work in a factory, and plants in mining, construction offices and educational institutions. So in all these cases there will be restrictions. So this draft bill will define restrictions or lockdown, and that restrictions will be gathering on public gathering, in employment sectors, and also in transport system, right? In transportation, complete transportation will not be allowed. There will be restrictions. Okay, next. What are the steps taken by India for improving health sector? Now we will study there are various steps or schemes of government that is for health sector. They are very important for prelims. Union Budget 2001-2022 announced Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. This was mentioned in Union Budget. This year Union Budget. Earlier there was Ayushman Bharat, but now that is a insurance scheme. Now this is a health infrastructure development for development of infrastructure. It's a centrally sponsored scheme. Centrally sponsored scheme means there will be share between states and the center, with an outlay of about 64,000 crores in the next 5 years to develop capacity of primary, secondary and tertiary care health care. So this national health infrastructure mission that will develop primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare system, strengthen existing national institutions and create new institutions to cater detection and cure of new emerging diseases. Besides, Union Budget 2021-22 provides outlay of around 35,000 crore for COVID-19 vaccination. It's a special around 35,000 crore would be utilized for vaccinations, and around 64,000 crore will be utilized for Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure that will develop primary, secondary and tertiary health care. Then National Health Policy 2017 envisages increasing government health expenditure to 2.5% of GDP by 2025. National Health Policy 2017. Many doctors also recommend that minimum 5 to 6% needed to be spent for health, but we have a target of spending around 2.5% of GDP for health. That is the objective in National Health Policy 2017. Right. So one is National Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure. Second is National Health Policy 2017. Next. Next is, in keeping this objective, central and state governments budget expenditure on the health sector around 2.51% of GDP in 2021 to presently 2.1% of GDP is spent in health sector. 2.1% of GDP, which is very low and because for a developing country, against 1.3% in 2019 and 20. Ayushman Bharat Health Wellness Centers the vision of Ayushman Bharat health to universal health coverage, right? Ayushman Bharat health wellness centers that will for universal health coverage. It adopts continuum care approach comprising two interrelated components. So this will ensure universal health coverage, providing health facilities to the masses. Then fourth step is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, ABPMJ. What is this? The second component of Ayushman Bharat is PMJ. This is being implemented by the National Health Authority. National Health Authority, you must remember for prelims, National Health Authority, this implements this PMJAY, right? In partnership with state governments, the scheme provides health cover of 5 lakhs per family. It's very important. 5 lakhs per family health cover per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to over 10.7 crores of poor and vulnerable families in the bottom 40% of the Indian population. It is very important. So Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana PMJY, it ensures 5 lakh for each family to undergo tertiary or secondary health cares, and around 40% of the bottom 40% people are covered by that, right? Next, PM Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. PM Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, PMABHIM, is a mission to develop capacities for primary, secondary and tertiary. Capacity development, that means development of infrastructure and manpower for primary, secondary and tertiary care health systems, strengthening existing national institutions and create new national institutions, cater to the detection and cure of new and emerging diseases, right? So these are the various steps that are taken by the central government. Okay, so first is Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers for universal health coverage, and Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, that is that will ensure 5 lakh for family. Then Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, that will develop capacities or that will develop infrastructure for tertiary care and secondary care throughout the country. Next, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Swasthya Suraksha Yojana is being implemented to correct regional imbalances in the availability of affordable reliable tertiary healthcare services, to augment facilities for quality medical education in the country. Two objectives: one is to counter the regional imbalance, second is to provide quality medical education in the country. Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, to counter regional imbalances and also to provide quality medical education in the country. Then Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. Next scheme is Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, ABDM. It is erstwhile National Digital Mission, was announced in 27 September 2021 with the aim to develop backbone of necessary to support integrated digital health infrastructure in the country, right? To support the integral digital health infrastructure in the country, that is Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, right? It will only work for digital develop health infrastructure. Then E-Sanjeevani, it is very important for prelim. E-Sanjeevani, in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, Ministry of Health and Welfare upgraded the E-Sanjeevani application to enable patient to doctor teleconsultation. E-Sanjeevani will ensure patient to doctor telecommunication and continuum care, facilitate health services to all citizens in the confinement of their homes free of cost. It's free of cost, and that will facilitate patient to doctor telecommunication via E-Sanjeevani, right? Next, the National Health Mission. National Health Mission was launched by Government of India 2013, subsuming the National Rural Health Mission and National Urban Health Mission. It was further extended to March 2018 and will continue it will still continuing. Then National Nutrition Mission, National Health Mission is also there, and also there is National Nutrition Mission. It is a government flagship program to improve the nutritional outcomes of the children. Why? Because if nutrition deficiency happens, there will be brain drain, right? Pregnant women and lactating mothers, because they are around 60% of our women are suffering from anemia. So nutrition mission should be there, right, to reduce the maternal mortality or to reduce the child mortality. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is the nodal ministry for the implementation National Nutrition Mission. See, National Nutrition Mission is implemented by Ministry of Women, not by Ministry of Health. Ministry of Women and Child Development that will implement National Nutrition Mission. The National Digital Health Mission, NDHM, this is aimed to develop necessary support for an integrated digital health infrastructure. Integrated digital health infrastructure, we have already discussed this integrated health infrastructure that will be developed by National Digital Health Mission. Then Poshan Abhiyan, this is regarding nutrition of the children. Poshan Abhiyan, to reduce the problem of malnutrition, stunting and wasting. Stunting means less than the height, stunted means the children will, that in that case, if a person is stunted, that means it has less height than it should be. So that is, so such type of nutritional deficiency will be countered by Poshan Abhiyan, giving them fortified rice or fortified food. This is a flagship program that aims to improving nutritional outcomes of the pregnant women. Nutritional outcomes of pregnant women and lactating mothers and children. All lactating mothers and children by reducing the level of stunting, underweight, anemia and low birth weight. That is Poshan Abhiyan. So National Nutrition Mission is there. There is also National Health Mission, right? And so far as National Nutrition Mission is concerned, that work for both children and pregnant women, and that is nodal ministries, Ministry of Women and Child Development. Another thing is the National Digital Health Mission that will help for digitalization of health infrastructure. That is next is Poshan Abhiyan that will ensure nutritional outcomes among pregnant women, right? Poshan Abhiyan, nutritional outcomes among pregnant women and the children, because nutrition will develop the cognitive capacity during the childhood. What are the challenges to health sector? First is poor expenditure on health sector. Poor expenditure on health sector. India lacks affordable healthcare services for the marginalized sections. Poor expenditure, less than 2.5% of GDP, right? Or India lacks affordable healthcare services for the marginalized sections. Lacks affordable healthcare services. Lacks robust public health infrastructure, right? Like hospitals, primary health centers. Lack number of doctors and specialists as per population of the country. Number of doctors and specialists as per population of the country. Lack of awareness among the people. Lack of awareness among the people, that are the challenges on national health sectors, right? One thing is poor expenditure by budget, right? Second thing is lack of affordable healthcare services. There is lack of doctors also. There is lack of medical professionals. There is also robust public infrastructure. We do not have public infrastructure in various government hospitals. They do not have sufficient machines, right? And skilled people are also lack skills. There is number of doctors are very low in the rural areas or in remote areas. There is also lack of awareness among the people so far as the health sector is concerned, because they are also going for traditional treatments, which are sometimes there is many superstitions, and also they have such type of lifestyle which is harmful for themselves. So there is lack of awareness. That is one of the major factors that hampers the health of public. Next, advancement. More emphasis should be on quick and hassle-free delivery of medical services to marginalized sections. Quick and hassle-free delivery. We have ambulance system that is working continuously for quick deliveries, to quick service delivery to the marginalized sections. Then there is a need for an increase in expenditure on health. Need for increase in expenditure for health, right? Then focus should be on healthcare infrastructure, on healthcare research and R&D. That need to be increased by 2.5 under the National Nutrition Scheme Plan, that is mission that started in 2017. So next, first topic is completed. Next topic is related to India-Japan summit, right? India and Japan are historical friends. In history we have very good relationships, right? So far as Japan is concerned, It's a all-weather friend, like it's like a all-weather friend. India and Japan, we are strategic partners. Both the countries have signed nuclear deal, right? So far as China is concerned, both the countries has equal interest, and also both are India and Japan are part of quadrilateral group, where India, Japan, Australia and US are present to secure peace and tranquility in the maritime region of Indo-Pacific, right? To secure the Indo-Pacific, to secure maritime security in Indo-Pacific, both have a common interest. There is also India and Japan, they are participating in naval exercises like Malabar exercises, and Japan is helping in India's various infrastructure projects. It is giving us loan at 1%, right? Which is then another thing is that for a big loan with 1%, it is investing in capital. Also, Japan, we are getting various investments from Japan, but there are also some problems. Japan is sending more investments to China as compared to India, because China has they can give better they can easily give the land to the capitalists, because that is not a democracy. Okay, there are other factors as well. So far as India-Japan Annual Summit is concerned, the 14th India-Japan Annual Summit was held in New Delhi. Remember, 14th India-Japan Summit is held in New Delhi. Next, what are the India presents limitless possibilities of Make in India? India presents limitless possibilities for Make in India for the world. Japan's cooperation in India's flagship projects such as dedicated freight corridor, and the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail has been remarkable. In those projects, Japan has been cooperating significantly. Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail, that is your bullet train, right? Then both India and Japan understand the importance of secure, trusted and predictable and stable energy supply. That means both countries understand the need of development of renewable energy at present time. It is imperative to achieve the goal of sustainable economic growth, right? Both countries understand that it is imperative that to achieve sustainable economic growth, that is economic growth along with preservation and conservation of nature. Tackle the problem of climate change. Climate change is the biggest problem of world, right? So both countries must cooperate to solve the problem of climate change. India-Japan Clean and Energy Partnership will prove to be decisive steps in the direction. India and Japan Clean Energy Partnership. Remember, both the countries have signed Clean Energy Partnership to mitigate the climate change, right? The Prime Minister expressed happiness that Japan will raise investment to target India's 5 trillion yen or 3.2 lakh crore rupees over the next 5 years. So Japan is interested to invest around 3.2 lakh crore in the next 5 years, right? Next, the world is still grappling with COVID-19 side effects. There is still hurdles in the process of global economic recovery. Both of them expressed their views and talked about the military cooperation of Russia in Ukraine. Both India and Japan, they have also discussed regarding the Ukraine issue. Okay, Japan Prime Minister emphasized peaceful solution on the basis of international law. Then the relationship between two countries stands on a strong foundation, and added that both stand to benefit from it. Stands on a strong foundation and both stand to benefit from. So that means both India and China both will cooperate each other in various issues of convergence. In Indo-Japan relationship, what is the Indo-Japan relationship? The friendship between India and Japan has a long history rooted in the spiritual affinity. Spiritual affinity means that is related to your Buddhism, right? We have great link with Japan so far as Buddhism is concerned. There are many Buddhists, right? India and Japan spiritual affinity and strong cultural and civilization ties. Strong cultural and civilization ties dating back to the Indian monk Bodhisena in 752 AD. Okay, India and Japan established diplomatic relationship in 1952. India and Japan, they established diplomatic relationship in 1952. In the past decade of the diplomatic ties were established, several high-level exchanges took place, including Japanese Prime Minister visit to India in 1957. So also Japanese Prime Minister also visited to India. That is the biggest achievement, right? So far as international relation is concerned, if one particular Prime Minister is going to a particular country, that means that country to which it is going, it matters a lot. So relationships get strengthened. So it is significant that Japanese Prime Minister has visited to India in 1957. So relationship started in 1957. Japan was among the few countries which bailed India out in the balance of payment crisis in 1991. In 1991, we have a crisis of balance of payment. That means the amount of forex exchange has reduced significantly, right? It has become, the level has become such that India can survive only for 15 days so far as coal imports are concerned. The Act East Forum started in 2017 aims to provide a platform for India-Japan collaboration under the rubric of India's Act East policy and Japan's free and open Pacific vision. So, Act East Forum, it's a forum by at which India and Pakistan, India and Japan both can discuss with each other, and India has a policy of Act East policy, right, significantly interacting with the politics with policy with the East, and free and open Indo-Pacific vision, that is the vision of Pakistan, China. So both the country, they need to come together and discuss their mutual issues, because China is an aggressive state. It is occupying various illegal territories, and as it is a member of UNSC, it is creating a monopoly in the world politics and its actions which are not according to the law of international bodies. Then what are the projects and investments that Japan has invested? Recently, India and Japan signed 4 agreements on which Tokyo to support healthcare projects. Right, so both countries will support each other in healthcare projects, right, under what is the scheme of grant assistance for grassroots projects, GGP scheme in India, right? GGP scheme in India that is promoted, and India and Japan are signed all these agreements to implement them. The grant assistance for grassroots projects GGP supports development of projects designed to meet the diverse basic human needs of the people in the developing countries. So these grant assistance for grassroots projects, they designed to meet the diverse basic human needs of the people in developing countries. That diverse basic human needs means access to drinking water, access to sanitation, access to a home, access to education. All these things can be called as grassroots projects, right? Japan has invested around 1,600 crores in development projects across the India in northeastern states, right? 1,600 crores are spent in northeastern states, and also working closely with India on infrastructure projects in third countries such as Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, right? So it is also helping India to cooperate with Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and their development of various projects. India and Japan also signed the acquisition and cross servicing agreement. Last September for reciprocal provision of supplies and services between their defense forces. So both countries have signed acquisition and cross servicing agreement AXA, so that if any problems arises, they can service their maritime submarines or similar objects like that, right? That helps in defense forces. Okay, so these are project investments, that is GGP, that is grants assistance for grassroots. That is a very good scheme. So, and in Japan has invested 1,600 crores in the northeastern states, right? So these are the cooperation between India and Japan. Economic commercial relationship. Japan is regarded as a key partner in India's economic transformation. So far as economic relationship is concerned, bilateral trade is around 11.86 billion. What about China? In China it is almost related to $1 lakh billion. Here it is 11.87 billion dollar. So it is almost 1/10 than that of the China. Then Japan is regarded as a key partner in India's economic transformation. Key partner. Japan interest in India are increasing due to a variety of reasons, including India's large growing market, its resources and human resources. right? India has huge human resources. We are especially a service hub. That means our people go and work outside and income various amount of money. So that is human resources. India's exports from Japan amount to around 3.94 billion. 3.94 billion, where India's imports from Japan is around 7.93 billion. That's why imports from Japan are more than export to Japan. So it is basically India is in negative side so far as trade is concerned. India's primary exports to Japan have been petroleum products, chemicals, elements, compounds, non-metallic mineral ware, fish and fish preparations, metalliferous ores and scrap. India's primary imports from Japan are machinery, electrical machinery, iron, steel products, plastic material, non-ferrous material, parts of motor vehicles, organic chemicals, manufacture of metals, etc. So Japan, we are importing electric vehicle, iron, steel, all these things are we are importing from Japan. Japan is importing various services and also goods like pharmaceutical industries, fish, right? Various elements, chemicals, they are imposed by Japan, but Japan is in trade surplus, right? And another thing is that India, the bilateral trade between India and Japan, it has around 11.87 billion. India is a growing market. There is economic transformation, and Japan has helped a lot with respect to it. Next, defense. India-Japan defense security partnership has evolved. Over the years, India-Japan defense security partnership has evolved. Our exchanges have strengthened due to growing convergence of strategic matters and significance going from the common outlook issues like peace, security, stability and Indo-Pacific region. Growing from the common outlook, right? Significantly growing. So it's growing. The India and Japan relationship is growing. Why it is growing? Because there is defense and security partnership. Next, during Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's visit to Japan in October 2008, two leaders issued the joint declaration on security. So India and Japan both have signed joint declaration on security cooperation between Japan and India during the period of Manmohan Singh. Then there is also frameworks for security and defense dialogue between Japan and India, including 2+2 meeting. Remember, the country with whom we have 2+2 meeting is the most important strategic neighbor. So as India has good relationship with Japan, that is it has because it has 2+2 meeting at ministerial level, at secretariat level, they will talk with each other. There is also Coast Guard to Coast Guard dialogue to ensure maritime security, because Japan is also, they have to also ensure maritime security. India has to also ensure maritime security, especially after the Mumbai war, right? After the Coast Guard is created, and so far as security is concerned, it is playing a significant role. And India and Japan defense forces are organized series of bilateral exercises, namely GMEX, Sinew, Maitri, Dharma, Guardian. Both countries also participate in the Malabar exercise of the USA. Malabar exercise, I have already explained regarding Malabar exercise, it is very important. So this is about the defense, India and Russia defense, India and Japan defense relationship with each other. Next topic is related to the science and technology. Bilateral science and technology was formalized through intergovernmental agreement signed in 1985. Bilateral science and technology cooperation. India and Japan digital partnership, IGDP, was launched during the visit of PM Modi to Japan. IGDP, Indian digital partnership, India-Japan digital partnership, it is launched during the PM Modi move to Japan. Areas of cooperation, well, new initiatives within the scope of cooperation of SCA and ST Act, focusing on digital ICT technology, right? So both countries will cooperate with each other so far as digital information and communication technology is concerned, right? Next, recent initiative includes establishment of 3 India-Japan joint laboratories in the area of ICT, that is AI, Internet of Things and Big Data. So this includes the establishment of 3 India-Japan joint laboratories, right? What do you mean by joint laboratories? Both will research and both will derive the result, and that will be beneficial for both the country. That is the essentiality of joint laboratories in the Office of Information Communication and Technology. Then healthcare. The Ayushman Bharat program and Japan's ASWIN program. Remember, Japan it is ASWIN, for India it is Ayushman Bharat program. Both sides have been consulting with each other to identify projects to build the narrative of ASWIN for Ayushman Bharat, right? Next, Indian community in Japan. In recent years, there has been a change in the composition of the Indian community with the arrival of large number of professionals, including IT professionals and engineers working for Indian Japanese firms, always, as well as professionals from management, finance, education, and science and tech. So obviously, Indian community in Japan are increasing. There is huge number of, there is almost every, people of almost every dimension is working in Japan, right? Then Quad Alliance. What is Quad Alliance? India, Japan, Australia, European Union, all are cooperating to establish maritime security in the South China Sea. They are taking these such steps against China, right? So both India and Japan have been expanding cooperation through Indo-Pacific regions bilaterally as well as under framework of the Quad grouping. The Quad is an informal strategic dialogue between India, USA, Japan, and Australia. Informal strategic dialogue between India, USA, Japan, and Australia, with a shared objective to ensure and support the free and open, prosperous Indo-Pacific region. That is to support a stabilized Pacific region, because China is an aggressive state. It has developed various artificial islands in the Pacific Ocean coast. That's why it is not easy to, trust. That's why. So, in the Indo-Pacific region, there should be alliance between Russia, Australia, and Japan and India to establish maritime security in the Indo-Pacific region. Then Assam Accord, it is recent to Assam government informed the Assam Accord that nearly 1.44 lakh of illegal refugees have been identified in the state. 1.45 lakh of illegal refugees have been identified in the state. That is, Assam government has informed. January 23 is the year based on the 1985 Assam Accord. Around 30,000 of them has been deported in their country to their country of origin. So out of all these people, 30,000 of them has been deported to their own country. Then government added the definitions of phrases mentioned in the accord, such as Ohomia Janagan, Assamese people. Next, Khilonjia, that is indigenous, and Adivasinda, or their inhabitants, are yet to be determined. Right? Government has added various phrases, but what is their actual meaning, that has not finalized. So this is Assam Accord. 1,44 illegal foreigners have been identified in the state, and they have this year, based on 1985 Assam Accord, around 30,000 of them have been deported to their country of origin. They are sent back to the Bangladesh, right? Especially because northeastern states are suffering from since 1970, northeastern states are suffering from various migration or from their homes. Okay. Now we will discuss the prelims facts, right? Daylight saving. What is the daylight saving? It is the adjustment of the, suppose during the summer period, you can increase your timing by 1 hour. During the winter, you can reduce them, right? So India is the practice of resettling clocks avoid by 1 hour in spring and behind 1 hour in autumn, right? So that will increase the daylight saving. India does not follow daylight saving time. Yes, India does not follow this. 70 countries of the world follow this. That's why option 1, both 1 and 2 are correct. With respect to Disaster Management Act 2005, consider the following: each ministry of the government shall prepare a disaster management plan. Crisis management plan does not deals with response, whereas disaster management plan holistics is a holistic one, including preventive strategies. Right? There is preventive strategies, that is holistic strategies, and every ministry of the government will implement the national disaster management plan. Next, filariasis is a parasitic disease caused by Uchreria bankruptcy. Uchreria bankruptcy, that is filariasis. Consider the following statements: the collegium system is prescribed by the Constitution. Yes, this is right. It consists of Chief Justice of India with two senior-most judges. Chief Justice of India with two senior-most judges, that is collegial system. That is the system with which judges appoint the judges. At present, in the Supreme Court, there is no any other procedure except the collegium system to elect a judge. Right? Chief Justice of India and two senior-most judges, they decide who will be the next judge. So that the system is called as collegium system. It consists of Chief Justice of India and two senior-most judges. That is right. National Judicial Appointment Commission of 2014 was brought to replace the commission. No. Judicial Appointment Commission, it has not to replace the commission. National NJSC, that has it will not replace the commission. That will establish that will replace the collegium system, and it will make the appointment of judges, NJSC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. This will abolish the collegium system, and it will make the appointment of judges transparent. But ultimately, that was not passed by the Parliament. So here the lectures end today. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to Vanik-Ias. Thank you.